What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Darium's Competitive Pokemon, playing a game on PTCGO here today with Gardevoir GX. Gardevoir GX has proven itself time and time again to just be one of, if not the best deck in standard format. I mean, it won the World Championships, just won a regional championship as well at the hands of Pablo Meza. Congrats to him. So, this is just a super solid archetype. It's not going anywhere. If you want to get into the game, you at least got to know how to play against the opposing the opponent's Gardevoir GX, because Gardevoir GX is just super popular. It's definitely becoming a fan favorite. Even playing here on PTCGO, you guys might have realized I've just been playing against a lot of Gardevoir GX lately. That is some players' criticism of standard format, actually, is that there's not enough super viable decks. And I guess I could see that. You got your Volcanion, you got your Gardevoir, and then things, you got your Garbodor decks too. And then, outside of those three, things start to fall off pretty quickly and pretty considerably. So let's take a look at this opening hand. This opening hand is really bad, guys. This is really bad. My opponent's got 2 energies on a Turtonator, and I'm sitting here not doing anything. Why is this so bad? Okay, let's just go ahead. Well, we'll Sycamore, I guess. Unbelievable. So, that's really ugly. I mean, you can see the hand that I even got myself into here. It's not all that much better, but I'm just going to have to pass. I mean, I got an energy on my active Tapu Lele. I can't retreat into Ralt. Had to Sycamore. 2 Gardevoir GX and a rare candy. I guess I do play, a copy of Rescue Stretcher. I do play a copy of Super Rod. I've based this list pretty closely off of what Pablo was playing at those regional championships. So, looks like my opponent's going to go get a knockout on that Ralts, perhaps. That's not good for me. Oh, no, they do not have a knockout. So, I wonder, yes, it looks like I did not get the knockout. I could evolve into Curlia, attach an energy, and N. I mean, this all seems bad. I could Guzma up a Volcanion and poke that with my Tapu Lele while evolving into Curlia. I guess, that doesn't seem great, but I mean, what other options do I really have? I don't want to refresh my opponent's hand right now, and I actually am okay kind of keeping this hand. I just want to keep these supporters so I can evolve into Gardevoir next turn, and just, hopefully, I don't know, hopefully my opponent just doesn't retreat and knock out this Lele. If they do retreat and knock out the Lele, it's fine. At least I'll have a Gardevoir next turn, and we could just go from there. You can see I am just oh wow, they got the Floatstone on deck. Field Blower, their own Floatstone, just to play it, and they're going to instruct for 3. I hope that the 3 cards you get are not good, so that you can go ahead and just pass it to me. That'd be great. But, knowing they probably got a Sycamore, something like that. Guzma, no, stop that. Hopefully they did not get an energy. They just are shell trapping again. This is fine. I am totally okay with this. So, I got an energy, and I have the Gardevoir GX. Ugh, this just seems so ugly. You gotta assume at this point, even if I evolve into Gardevoir GX, my opponent, I also shell trapped. They're going to be able to, knock me out for sure. I could Acerola, but I don't want to Acerola and then just hit into this thing with my Tapu Lele because my opponent's shell trapped, so that's just weird. I could evolve and then maybe Twilight GX. That could be the play. I'm definitely not going to end, though. So let's just Sycamore. My opponent's got a very small hand. And we got another Ralts. That's good. This might be the time to Twilight GX. Just throw, because I don't want to hit into this thing. Just throw some resources back into the deck. Make my opponent Bright Flame to take a knockout. I think I also probably am just going to Field Blower my opponent's Floatstone and Fighting Fury Belt. And then, let's see. I don't know. I have the Super Rod in my hand, though, so I don't need to Twilight GX this turn. But I think I should. I'm going to Ultra Ball away. I'm going to Ultra Ball away the Super Rod in the end, actually. And I'm going to get another card here. I think I'm going to get another Ralts just to start setting those up. You can see that I am playing the Sylveons in here. A lot of good Gardevoir lists are playing the Sylveons now. And, you know, I'm not completely sold on it, but I do acknowledge that it's very good. So like, you know, the plea plays are interesting, you know, just the consistency of Magical Ribbon. If you'd ever get it to stick, it's very good. And then, you know, plea with Parallel City is also very good. So I gotta give it that. And I think I'm just gonna Twilight GX. No real reason to hit into this thing. So let's just throw, you know, some rare candy, some other stuff back into the deck. Field Blower, Ultra Ball, a couple N, Guzma, Energy, Choice Band. That seems fine. Maybe I'll put a Sycamore back in too. I don't really see my opponent. Yeah, I'll probably put a Sycamore in. I don't really see my opponent, you know, doing too much just of the damaging. Acerola probably won't get that much mileage. And we'll just Twilight. Throw those resources back in. We're just going with the slow roll here. So let's see. My opponent, you know, they're probably looking for an energy. They want a Bright Flame. They do 160. They are going to be 10 damage short, actually. So they not only need an energy, they need to steam up as well. And, you know, I got to imagine that they're probably going to find another fire because this deck is just, there you go. I mean, the deck's pretty much built entirely of fire energies. At this point, though, it's fine. I kind of more or less prepared for this. You know, I've got the Lele. I have resources in my deck now, so I'm okay with that. And, you know, I could kind of, you know, at least tap this thing with Lele and end my opponent low and hope they don't draw anything good. I could throw the DCE onto the Tapu Lele, so I'm hitting for just a lot. I actually don't mind that entirely just because they are going to Nitro Tank next turn, and if they Nitro Tank, then, you know, I'm just knocking this thing out because I'll do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'll do 100 to it now, and then, you know, that just puts a lot of pressure on my opponent, especially if they do sit up there and Nitro Tank, so I don't mind that. And then I just got myself a weird hand here. I really did. Like, it's a weird hand. I do have to Ultra Ball, though, and I definitely have to Ultra Ball for a Remoraid so that I could evolve next turn. Another kind of cutesy play you could do with this deck is that you can plea your opponent's Pokemon. So that's kind of cool. If I do ever get set up and rolling here, I think I will also Rescue Stretcher, put a Pokemon from my discard pile back to my hand so I can get that Curlia and just like throw the Curlia here onto my Ralts so that I'm just guaranteed next turn to probably get a Gardevoir. But yeah, another cute play you could do is that you could you could plead GX your opponent's Pokemon. Just, you know, if they Nitro Tank or something, and then they got 3 energies on a Volcanion EX and 3 energies on another Volcanion EX, you could plea, lift them all up, and then, you know, your opponent just has all these energies in their hand, and it's like, what do I do with that? Like, it's kind of weird. So, you know, that is another valuable play. I think it was the right call for me to use that Twilight GX there, though. It was just a weird turn. Like, I didn't want to attack into the Turtonator because of that Shell Trap. I didn't want to have to take that damage. Shell Trap just making it so that 8 damage counters get placed on the attacking Pokemon if someone were to attack into Turtonator after they Shell Trap. So I don't like that. I do like having Octillery in this list. It's just a nice little option to have. I know Pablo for a while was only playing a 1-1 line. Like, that is a thin Octillery line, but hey, if you don't prize any of the pieces, 1-1 is definitely optimal because it's not like you want to get a second Octillery into play, so I can respect that. You can see that my opponent is going to Nitro Tank here. This is what I expected them to do. I'm just going to, you know, probably they're going to load up some energies on some Volcanions over here. Maybe they'll even put some onto the little Volcanion. Yep. Just because the Turtonator is pretty much as good as dead, this active Turtonator. So they want to load up their benched threats. Let's see. If I do attack with this Tapu Lele again, then I'm definitely just serving it up to my opponent, going down to 2 prizes. However, I'm kind of okay with that. Let's just go ahead and we're going to Abyssal Hand, see where we go from here. Draw 4 cards. I did get another Curlia. I also got a Tapu Lele. I can end my opponent. I could Guzma something up. I think I just need to like end my opponent and do that. I think I'll put the Choice Band down. I know the Volcanion decks were not playing a lot of supporters. So I'll Wonder Tag. I will go and grab an N. And I think I'm just going to play it. So, I mean, I technically do give my opponent an extra card there. I just can't really afford to just Sycamore, the double colorless, and the fairy like that. It just seems a little irresponsible. Now, here's another interesting play. I can Let's see, I could Field Blower my opponent, which is actually not bad because then that makes them, they have to find a Fighting Fury Belt to knock me out or Steam Up, I guess. And if they Steam Up, then that, you know, it just makes it a little harder for them to knock out the Tapu Lele. I feel like I want to save the Field Blower though, just because I only have, that's my last one. And if my opponent brings up this Turtonator, I want to be able to knock it out. I could also parallel my opponent. And I think paralleling my opponent is the way to go right now, limiting them just so that they have to remove something. Like, either way, I don't think they want to remove any of these Pokemon. They all got energy on them. So I'm going to knock out my opponent's active, which is definitely the Pokemon they would remove, given the choice. And then my opponent's going to have to make a tough choice between the Volcanion here and the Oranguru. They have to pick one of those. So that's a compromising move for my opponent. And you're just seeing how powerful this Parallel City is. This Parallel City is insane. I think Parallel City is just one of, if not the best supporter stadium card, you know, ever printed. I think it's definitely one of the best stadium cards ever printed. It's just super good. So I could put down this Eevee, I guess. I don't really think there's any reason to do that, though. I'll probably just leave the bench space for something else. And then I could just Energy Drive for knockout and take 2 prizes finally. So you can see I've put my opponent in a weird spot here, you know, playing the Parallel City. They now only have these 2 Pokemon. It's definitely enough to end the game. However, once they use Bright Flame, say they use Bright Flame, knock out my active Tapu Lele. They do have the Fighting Fury Belt, so they got the guaranteed knockout there. Once they do that, you know, they will discard 2 energy. That Turtonator is going to be pretty tough to knock out, but, you know, they'll only have the Volcanion left here, and Volcanion is going to have a hard time knocking out my Gardevoir GX. So my opponent probably, oh, that's annoying. They got their Field Blower for my Choice Band. Choice Band is definitely going to help me in my quest to knock out this Turtonator. I'm not even sure if I can get it done. Let's see, if he's got 1 energy on it, it'll be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah, I could do it. 18, 21. I mean, I would have to get like a double colorless and 2 Secret Springs, something like that. So that would be pretty tough. Oh, my opponent just served it up to me, though, by putting another Fire Energy onto their Turtonator. So they just made it easier for me to get that knockout. They're being a little greedy there. They know that like stealing the game is going to be a little more difficult with Volcanion. So they put themselves in a situation where they could Bright Flame again next turn. However, they're not going to be using Bright Flame if they're knocked out. So let's go ahead. Secret Spring to the active. And this Gardevoir has got to take us there pretty much. I could Abyssal Hand now, or I could end in Abyssal Hand. I think that I want to Abyssal Hand now. If I draw into something like a Sycamore, I'm just going to play that just to draw as many cards as possible. I don't think I put the Lele down. I could put the Lele down just to like maybe get another supporter out of my deck and just ditch it, just so that I have a higher chance of hitting what I need here off the Sycamore. But I think I'm just going to go. And we did not get another Guardy. We did get the Field Blower, though. So let's see. Do we have it? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. We definitely have it. So that's awesome. Let's see. Do I need to attach the double colorless energy? I don't think so, but I think I want to anyway. And then now we just need to hope that my opponent doesn't just have the return here with a Volcanion maybe on the Tapu Lele or something like that. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Let's go ahead and Field Blower, get both of these guys out of here, make the knockout a little harder for my opponent as well. And then we're just going to steal this knockout. You can see how good Gardevoir GX is. This deck's insane. I mean, you just get a Gardevoir just up and steamrolling things. This is just so much pressure for the opponent to deal with right now. Like, you've got a Gardevoir GX just like, you know, staring you down. That's why a lot of these Volcanion decks were playing Enhanced Hammer, and that's what Ryan Sablehouse, not Ryan Sablehouse, yes, Ryan Sablehouse was playing Enhanced Hammer in his list, as was Igor Costa. I mean, Igor won that Connecticut Regional Championship with Volcanion, just showing how good Enhanced Hammer is in that Volcanion list. And you could see, if my opponent were to hit 2 Enhanced Hammers right now, like, that would be super annoying. So, you know, Enhanced Hammer is just very good against Gardevoir GX. It helps kind of tilt the odds of this matchup, you know, from being definitely Gardevoir's favor to like closer to 50-50. I wonder, since my opponent promoted this, okay, so say I wonder if they had the Guzma. I was afraid they just had the Guzma there since they promoted the other Volcanion, but you can see they do not have the other Guzma. They've steamed up what, once, twice? Did they get it? They steam up 3 times. 3, 6, 9. No, they get it. Oh no. Looks like my opponent is just going to have it. No, no, no. Man. Well, anyways, they're going to do a perfect 230 damage. Anyways, that was a good game. Considering that I had a horrible start, I don't really mind taking the loss there. I mean, that was about as slow of a game as Gardevoir has ever had. Did not get the turn 1 Bridget. Did not even get anywhere close to like a turn 2 Guardy or anything like that. Very slow game on my part. However, you see Gardevoir almost stole that one. So that was a good game. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you all think of Gardevoir GX and Volcanion in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.